Shaun, 4-0 loss to Newport here in the FA Cup. A disappointing one to take as well.
Yeah, obviously it's gutting. Like, the most frustrating thing is we felt like we had them again, 11v11. I think they knew it, we knew it, and I ain't seen it back, so I don't know if it is a red card or not, but it certainly didn't look like it at the time. And you speak to their lads, apart from one of their lads who kept saying it's a red card. 3 or 4 they come around saying, I didn't think it was a red. Obviously they're happy to take it, but that's frustrating. Obviously that's football. Second half, we got through to half time, did okay. Obviously Rudd's had a shot. Thought if we just got through, and then the first goal's another blatant foul, and it just doesn't get given, and that kills us. Then once it goes 2-0, I know people will hate it, like we got frustrated, the lads got frustrated, but I'm just telling the lads to sit in. We got nothing to gain there. Bobby and people like that are going to get frustrated. All you're running the risk of is a second red card or injuries. I know people hate to hear it, but I was just telling people, conserve your energy. We've got bigger things to worry about ultimately now. Realistically, once it got late on, 2-0 down, 10 men, you're not getting back in the game. So as horrible as it is, you have to accept that and just make sure you don't, say it sounds awful, and it's frustrating for players, and it'll be frustrating for the fans watching, no doubt. But you have to conserve your energy and think about what's coming up rather than ultimately what's gone.
After the red card, I've seen you were on the floor. Anything of that at all? Nah,
not really. The lad raised his hand, and obviously the ref looked like he was giving cheap red cards out. So if he raised his hand, so the lad had done me before on a challenge, and nothing had been given. So. It's just one of them things, but that's the way it goes.
Obviously, you got to half-time at 0-0. It seemed you were being fed instruction constantly from Graham, Yossi and Darlow as well, and almost felt like you were becoming a bit more comfortable as the game got on, as 0-0 continued.
Definitely, obviously the frustrating thing is this set piece, and like I say, it was something they did at our place. They tried, they do it very well. We see things, they do a block, it's a foul. It's clever from them, but it's a blatant foul. Told the referee about it, and so you don't decide to give it, so you can't do nothing about that ultimately. You can maybe look at other ways of defending it, but ultimately, if they work something like it's clever for them, we try similar things, and sometimes it works for us, so we can't complain in that sense. But when he's looking right at it, you hope you get it, and obviously he didn't give it, so it's just one of the things.
Yeah, they get the goal, they get the second. Is that the game gone then for you?
Realistically, yeah. Now and again, 1 in a million, you might get somebody come back with 10 men back from 2-0 down. But like I say, ultimately at that point, then Bobby's getting frustrated up the top end, put a couple of challenges in where he's running the risk of getting a yellow, and I'm just shouting at him, just calm down, drop in. You can't afford it. It sounds awful, and it's really frustrating for the players. And if when I was younger, I'd have been hairing around and potentially got sent off, with second yellow. Whereas as you get older, you learn ultimately there's bigger things ahead. So we just had to conserve our energy, and nobody wants to get beat 4-0, but really 4-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, it doesn't really matter. You're out of the cup regardless. So all our concern now is moving on to Saturday with FA Trophy, and then obviously looking back at the league following week, and they're our priorities now.
Yeah, interim manager Graham Barrow was putting emphasis on the importance of the experienced players like yourselves to deal with those sort of situations, because it can at times be disheartening, can't it? It can be frustrating.
It's awful. It's awful for the players, no doubt awful for the fans watching. But like I say, hopefully nobody else getting sent off. Ultimately, if anybody else gets sent off, you're missing them for sending offs count for the league games. Yep. So you don't want players missing. You don't want players getting injured, picking up silly injuries by tearing around when ultimately the game's probably lost. So you just have to make sure you don't get make sure you don't get anything stupid. And obviously we've got fairly thin on the ground now. Obviously 3 youth team lads on the bench tonight. Obviously Youngie's now suspended, so we're a bit thin on the ground. So it's just important we got nothing else silly picked up, and we can just ultimately it's a horrible situation, but you forget about it, you move on, and we've got, like I say, we've got bigger things to worry about.
In terms of the youth players, to put a positive spin on it, it's a great experience for them guys, isn't it? And for you guys as the experienced players to be able to show them the ropes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's great for them obviously to get to come away and travel, and obviously we've been training with them. They've been training with us quite a bit recently, and a couple of them really deserve it. So that's that's a real positive for them. And I don't know what the plans are for Saturday yet, but maybe a couple of them might. Well, I'm presuming looking at the size of the squad with injuries and people suspended, there'll probably be a couple again on Saturday involved. So yeah, great chance for them. And then hopefully come to the following week, Aldershot will be full squad available, or close to a full squad available, and ready to go and really concentrate on the league.
Yeah, from one trophy to another, isn't it? With the FA Trophy this weekend, you don't really know what sides that some guys put out, whatever the management team decide. But like you say, it's a good opportunity for perhaps some of those fringe players as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, the gaffer G might obviously go full strength. I hope to play personally. I'd always want to play. It's a good opportunity. It's an old club of mine which I'd love to play against. Yeah. You've got real fond memories there, and obviously, like I say, it's just a good opportunity to bounce back. And obviously, been there and played in the trophy final. It's at Wembley twice. You know, some players might not ever get that chance in a career, and they don't realise, you know, how actually it's not all that far away. Yeah, it's a few games, but there's a great opportunity. You know, we're the highest. Well, fourth highest ranked team at the minute, but we're one of the highest ranked teams in it, and you've got a great chance of getting there, and it's not to be sniffed at.
Yeah, you know, you played in that trophy final. You know what it means to this football
club.
club.
The penalty away about 3 minutes ago, so yeah. But no, exactly. People see the scenes that day, and it's obviously a great opportunity for players to go and showcase themselves on the biggest stage.
Finally, a word on the 501 support. It's a really difficult trip to make. I know it's Wales to Wales, but it's a difficult one to make on Tuesday.
It's fantastic, you know, especially at the end. They could have easily been frustrated, but they didn't clap the lads off, give the lads good support, and that's, you know, ultimately that's going to be important moving forward. You know, we're really, really appreciative of the support, everybody, and I think you've got a group that really treasure that support, and they like I say, they just it's important that they stick with us, and they were great, and like I say, we look forward to hopefully repaying them in the league.
Awesome. Cheers, Shaun.
Cheers, lads.